Most of the time when I meet young insurance agents, their how I got into insurance story sounds like this. Family agency, you know. So when I met Preston Schmidley and I heard his incredibly unique how I got into insurance story, I had this intense feeling that I just had to share it. This is Preston, by the way.
Schmidley.
Schmidley.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was actually perfect.
Preston Schmidley.
So is this like a between two ferns format? Like what is?
Oh, Zach Galifianakis, whoa!
Yes, that's a beanie. Yup, those are tattoos. And yes, that is an iced venti Starbucks latte with extra caramel. Dude knows how to order Starbucks. Now, a few years ago, Preston was working at Guitar Center.
I'm young, I like music. I went to the Art Institute for audio production, so I got a job at Guitar Center.
And struggling with a health condition.
But when the health problems kind of happened, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need people.
He told me that he just, at Guitar Center, he wasn't feeling that burn, that fire, that thing that just wakes you up in the morning and drives you to crush it every single day.
I was checked out from the moment I came in.
Until he heard about an opportunity to sell life insurance.
And there was I heard about a life insurance opportunity. I was just making 10% commission. I was young still, I was like 23. I was like 50% commission, my God.
The catch is that he was working as a captive agent, and I think we all know what that means.
One of them was like, hey, you got the wrong address, so you need to get a new lease. The other one was like, well, that address is actually fine, but you got the other system has the wrong address. So regardless, you got to get a new lease because the new system requires that compliance approve the office, and your current space would not be approved by our current compliance.
Right.
So they were trying to tell me I had to get a second lease, but this all happened over the course of 6 hours. So I'm getting really pissed, dealing with all this compliance stuff.
Then one day, totally out of the blue, a moment happens. Now look, I know we all have a million moments that happen in our lives. They're happening right now as you're watching this video. But while most of our moments are routine, there are some that are just freaking hard to forget.
And across from me is my friend now. At the time, he was a stranger that we've shared a few laughs through the internet with.
Yeah.
I'm just watching him, I'm observing. He's so jubilant and joyous and happy, and he's on the phone, he's closing business. You can tell he's literally just making money while I'm just sitting here like dreading my life. And I'm like, what is going on, right? So at my captive, there's multiple companies, and two of the three companies that are under the umbrella of this captive. He has access to sell, and not only can he sell them, he can make 50% more commission than I can. So like I'm feeling from all angles like, why am I doing this to myself? Why did I sign a contract to work for one company? I'm really frustrated. So we get to the event, and we're both generating leads, and so we kind of make this friendly competition, see who can do the most results with the leads that we generate. It was like around 100 leads total. I ended up writing one client for 2 policies. I spent 150 in ad spend. I made 150 back, dollar for dollar, broke even. Which isn't why I got into the insurance. I don't do business to break even. This dude sold 150 policies. I sold 2. He sold 150.
Okay, now Preston realized 2 things. A, he was really freaking good at generating Facebook leads. And B, he couldn't close any of the leads because he was a captive agent. Freaking captivity. So he did 2 things in response. A, he started self-educating on Facebook lead generation, going to conferences, joining online masterminds, testing, experimenting, inhaling as much knowledge as he could. And B, he went independent. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. He could have stopped there. He could have said, awesome, I'll just generate some online insurance leads. Booyah. But he didn't do that. Instead of generating insurance leads, he starts generating real estate leads. Wait. What?
And so it's another way to pivot on, we can generate auto and home leads all day, life leads all day. Like that's all cool.
Yeah.
But we can take this thing that was once just a lead, and now it's a relationship for me, and it's a relationship for my relationship. Now everybody's winning. We've built an ecosystem, not just a transaction. And I think that's kind of the big thing is like agencies kind of get transactional, and it happens. Like you have all these stresses of daily life, right? But like when you can look at that and build ecosystems instead of transactions, it feeds off itself.
And Preston isn't the only one who's doing it. Meet Nick Ayers, Rockstar Insurance Pro.
And I said like if it's one of those things, like when I stand up in meetings and people ask me, tell us something like we don't know about you, I tell them. One of the things I tell them is like I have this real weakness when it comes to like girl pop music. Like it's I don't know.
Who right now, like as we speak, or as you're watching this video, is generating referral hub relationships like crazy.
Before we started doing this, like I said, I just to give a little bit of context, just to touch, I've been in the insurance industry for about 14 years, and 13 of those years, I can confidently say, in moving around geographically to different places, that I had 2 real partners, like legitimate partners that would send me everything. Since January 1, we've taken that total number to into the double digits of people who are saying we are exclusively making you our insurance agent and agency that we refer all of our business to.
How? Online real estate leads, people. Come on, man, haven't you been watching the video?
It's number one, I can generate insurance leads, and I do generate insurance leads. Here's the problem when you generate just insurance leads. You generate 3 leads, and you write 3 policies or 3 households. That's pretty good. Here's the difference, and you should employ that strategy. You should not do that. But what you need to also do is you need to think about, okay, I have referral partners. Number one, I have referral partners who've been sending me business up to this point. How can I benefit their business? How can I say thank you? Going back to that, that's what they want. They want more customers. Number 2, I generate 3. Let's just say 3. When I walk into an office, I don't tell them how many leads I can generate. But let's just say it's 3. I walk into a mortgage lender's office that I want to work with, that I've done my research on. I know that they're doing well over 100 transactions a year, and I walk in with 3 a month, or I walk in with 3 or whatever, and I say, I'm going to give these to you. Now, 2 of these people you're probably not going to be able to talk to, or they just don't qualify. Maybe one of them you do get a conversation with. Maybe you can start them on the process. Maybe they become a customer. Maybe they don't. But let's say out of 3 or 4 months, maybe you write 1 or 2 customers out of that. Now I can say, as an exchange for this, and for me to continue doing this, I'm going to generate these leads for you, but you're going to give me an opportunity on all the rest of your business. So if they're doing 100 transactions a year, now you've turned 3 leads, let's call it 36 leads over the course of a year on average. You've turned 36 leads into potentially 136 leads. So it's just a way to scale, and you use that as a way to, number one, bring value to your referral partners, but also to scale and turn 1 lead into multiple leads, and to turn it into attract more business.
And here's the juice. Oh yeah. When you, Mr. or Mrs. Insurance Agent, walk into a real estate office, not with cookies, but with business, who leads that partnership?
I'm the one who's bringing you all the value. And because I'm the one bringing you all the value, we're going to do this my way. This is, if you don't control the process, it's not, you're not going to have it work the way you want to. It's just going to cause headaches and stress. So you have to be very intentional on your setup and what you value and what you want the process to look like. And if you don't, then they're going to control it. You're going to be beholden to their system and their setup, and that's not advantageous for you or your business.
Okay, now I'm not saying go out and generate a bunch of Facebook real estate leads. Although, to be fair, I'm not saying not to do that either. What I am saying, and really I'm just echoing the genius of Preston and Nick, is if you choose to define digital marketing only as generating online insurance leads, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, through blogs, through whatever medium, content channel, or platform, you're probably gonna win a few battles, but you've lost the war. We have this huge opportunity with the online world, with the internet, to not just put money into it and then get hopefully more money out of it, but to build relationships.
Yeah, that's a baller. That's hustling right there, dude.
And I've never been the lead generator, let me cold call. It's always been relationship with me. So I've been part of business organizations, really involved in the chamber, and then even just, locally in the community trying to get engaged and be connected. But the disconnect is always, they don't know I do insurance. So it's like, literally people are like, oh, Jared's great. and he's always everywhere. Yeah, I think he's in insurance or something. And I'm like, that's a disconnect that I need to close. And so starting in 2018, I was like, I'm just going to be the expert. And so I just was like, the easiest way to do that is answer a bunch of questions. So that's where the new kitchen table came from.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
20-ish videos in, and the response is not what I expected. I expected consumers to be like, oh, Jared knows what he's talking about. Let's talk to him about insurance. And it wasn't that. It was more realtors, mortgage lenders, even other businesses, like wanting to know why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, how hard is it to do it. And so for me, those realtors and mortgage, for 4 or 5 years, I've been trying to develop these relationships. So that's really been the inroad there, that I gave all this value in answering questions, and I specifically was like, let me answer homeowners so that I know realtors have something. And then I made a video specifically for realtors that was like, hey, I can help you help your buyers. So, nothing for your buyers yet, just let me help you be the expert by being the expert for the insurance piece.
Yeah.
So that's really where it came from. And it has been, I think February 7th I posted my first YouTube video on that specific platform and promoted that. And so we're not even 30 days in, and the last 2 weeks I've had more meetings with realtors that I've never ever met with before, or met at a chamber event or anything. Just reached out on Instagram or reached out on LinkedIn.